Hey everybody, welcome.
Hi.
Hey Ruchi,
Hello.
and to everybody out there who's watching, welcome to Judee Rallos TV, the place to be where we talk about business, productivity, and going after the life that we aspire. So, are you I just wanted to ask Ruchi because I can hear some feedback. Are you like watching this on a platform?
Me?
Yeah.
No, actually, it's just with the one that being sent a while ago.
Okay. All right. There's like
Almost
some sort of
you'll hear a little bit.
feedback.
We have a lot of dogs here. Our
Oh,
neighbor.
no, it's not. Anyway, okay. So, um, today we have a very important topic on Inspiring Wednesdays live, and it's all about how you can manage your money during this pandemic. We have a very special guest. His name is Racy Lomongo.
Hello, everyone.
Say hi to him, everyone. So he is a financial expert, and I am so privileged that he accepted my invitation for today because we all could learn a thing or two about what to do with money right now, right?
That's right. And I'm also thankful for inviting me. Um, at this point in time, I know that when we talk about money, it's something that people wouldn't really want to talk about, but we have to, knowing that it is an ongoing crisis, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we shouldn't just set aside.
Have you noticed that when money is tight, we do have a tendency to like bury our head in the sand and just
Mhm.
really ignore it? And
Right,
then the
right.
bills pile in, and then I don't know. I think that's it's actually more depressing when you ignore it, right?
Exactly. I agree with definitely with you. All right, shall we start?
Yeah. So I would like you to introduce yourself, Richie, please, for the benefit of our audience, so that they will know where you're coming from, like what's your background, and how you actually really started in the financial services industry.
All right, then I'll take it away. Anyway, my name, everyone. My name is Rachie Lamongo, the only son. So that's and actually, I graduated as a nurse from the University of Cebu Manila campus. So it's quite really far from my from my real profession to my current profession. So after graduating, I have been in the BPO industry for quite some time. And then I decided to join my dad in the financial services. He's been in the financial services for 35 years. And that alone could actually say that my interest actually was sparked with the fact that he's with the financial services for 35 years. I wanted to continue what he started. So that's one thing. And when there will always be a part of your life that you there would be a turning point that you wanted to challenge yourself. So that's why I'm here. So I've as you can see, I'm representing AIA Film Live. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now, and then this most probably would be the career that I will be retiring from because not only the perks that I'm getting being with Film Life, but it's the mission behind what we are doing. You know, so being able to help people impart whatever we learn from the trainings that we have, that's the most important thing to me. And that's why I'm also here. You're inviting me because I will be sharing a lot of ideas and then not to overwhelm, of course, the viewers because, with the time that we are given to discuss, we don't want you guys to, of course, get overwhelmed with ideas. So I was informed by Judee that to make it as light and light as possible. Just like when you go to a restaurant, you don't want to eat everything there, right? You just have to
That's
choose.
true. Although
And
I'd
then
want to do that.
I would want to do that.
I want to do that right now.
So, speaking of introduction, guys, I have known Judee, by the way. I've met Judee rather in one of the fashion shows that I actually organized. It was last year, right,
Yeah.
Judee? So it was with Pia Wurzbach and other headliners here in Cebu. So that's where I met her. So you know what, guys? Judy's one of the sweetest people, persons rather, or people that I have met in my life. And then, that's why we clicked. And then we became friends. She's inviting me to her show. That's why I would never say no to that. And then it would also be a great for the viewers to learn how to manage their finances amidst the crisis. So I guess it's part of this one of the I'll just keep that short, for the introduction.
Yes. And just to, not to interrupt you, Rachel, but at any point, guys, just just send your comment. And like if you have questions, especially, so that later on we can also like ask Rachel to answer them. Okay, so feel free to do that.
I'll be definitely answering those questions. Anyway, let's keep the ball rolling. Now,
Yeah.
Judee, and to all those who are watching right now, I have one question that I'd like to ask you guys. All right, how can you be normal when times are not normal? I guess I struck you with something, right?
It's
How
it's
can you
really
be
like a thought-provoking question.
normal? So that's one of the things that we have encountered right now. How to really be normal, you know? And I believe our viewers and yourself, Judee, actually have encountered the word new normal, right?
Yes,
Right. We have the
I'm still
word.
dreading it, to be honest. Yeah.
Right. Now I have news with you. It's no longer a new normal. It's a now normal, Judee. Why? Because when you talk about new normal, it's something that you are about to do, but we're living it already.
Yes.
It's now normal.
Fortunately. Yeah.
But you know what? We're still blessed that we have this kind of uh, we're blessed to have experienced this in our lifetime. Why? Because there are a lot of things that we can learn from. But
So
it would be
many.
fortunate for others that who got the virus and then they are not able to survive it. So uh, well, we'll just be looking everything on the brighter side, though. So, but then again, when we try to live normally, we have to make sure that we have the right plan. I'm not going to discuss about how you should be doing it, but for the viewers, I'll give you some things to think about that you can also take base with. All right. Now, basically, my objective for this evening is, of course, number one, to know the current crisis, how it can impact our economy. But of course, I don't want to sound like an economist, but as a person, as a consumer, how does it affect me? Now, and also, I would also be imparting part of the objectives will be to prepare how to prepare for the crisis. Because guys, uh, COVID health crisis is just one of the crises that we will be we have encountered and we will be encountering. It's just that it has blown out of proportions. And then of course, how to face a crisis and still prepare what lies ahead. Because you know, um, if we didn't know that we would be having this kind of pandemic, basically it's the topic or the discussion would revolve on just making yourself you just prepare yourself for a
Yeah.
possible crisis. But now we are
We're
in a crisis.
already
How do
experiencing.
right? How do we
Yeah.
still prepare for what lies ahead? Though that's the most important thing. Now, how to be resilient. All right. Now,
Hmm.
you know, a lot of people have sacrificed already so much. Number one, A lot of people would want to travel, but they can no longer do that because they choose health over, I'm sorry, hygiene over adventure. And
Yeah.
some people now seizing their was it seizing they seize their business, and also some people didn't really want to go and work because they chose rather health over wealth. And then
Yeah.
of course there are some people right now um, who would tend to manage their money and try to put their money into something like sort of investment. So they shifted, they tried to what we call, they would want to get something that is uh, uh, sort of a protection over the yield of the investment. You
Yeah.
know, because one of the most important thing when we consider in preparing what is current normal to how do we transition after this, because
Yeah.
that's the
That's
thing.
such a huge question mark, Rachie, because at the beginning of the pandemic, even
Mhm.
before ECQ happened, I immediately added critical illness coverage. Like I added more to it because I was so
Mm.
worried. What if I'm going to catch it and I'm the breadwinner?
Right. But you know what? We will be able to discuss that, but later on. And now, what is the importance of getting a protection? But of course, that's not really what I'm here for. I mean, I'll be sharing some ideas on how to really prepare from what is the normal current situation right now and to what
Yeah.
lies ahead. Now,
Hmm.
just before things happen, ideally, Judy,
Hmm.
every person should have or everyone should have established an emergency fund. So
That's so
the emergency
true.
fund, by the way, to our viewers, um, that would actually be six times um, going six times your monthly expense. No, so you have to make sure that you have that. So and of course you have to make sure that you erase your bad debt. Why?
That's
Because if
true.
you have those, oh my god, I wouldn't know how we will be able to face.
What do you
Uh,
consider a bad debt anyway? But you can answer that later.
all right, okay, I'll do that. All right. Anyway, so Judy, no, we have not encountered any this kind before, no, any pandemic. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened? No, when ECQ actually when COVID came about,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there are a lot of people who actually lost jobs. Would you
That's
agree? Right? And I think they it's also in the best interest for both the company and the people who's working for the company, because they're also looking into that. Yes, they are working, and then there's the company still functioning, but the problem is they might get the virus, which would um, make things worse.
yeah.
We don't know how we didn't really know how to manage it, so that's the problem. No, it's something new. It's not written in the books yet. We're still about to mix. We're they're still rather putting it in books on how to manage the virus now.
Yes.
So you know there are five types of people uh, during the ECQ when they lost their job. Now
Mm,
I'll describe these five types of people.
I love this. Okay. Okay.
First person that actually who have encountered the ECQ is this person only had 3 months savings, and then we didn't even know we have underestimated the ECQ. We thought that it would just only be 40 days,
I'm
but
not
we're right,
kidding. I am
3 months,
not
right?
kidding. That's so true.
Right? So
Mhm.
this the first person that I'm describing is this first person. Judy is she only has or this person only has 3 months of savings. Now, when we're approaching to our fourth month, this person already um has already started to feel a bit worried, and then this person has been posting in social media. F this government, I mean, we cannot
That's
blame
so
the.
true. Oh my gosh, so many people are like that, and we
There are
can't
some
blame
people
them because
taking social.
it's so hard. Yeah,
Mhm. But one of the things that we failed as as an individual is to really prepare for this kind of things. Now, this person prepared, but it just so happened 3 months. She only has 3 months savings to get by for the whole. We wouldn't know yet when. All right. And this second person that I'm about to describe is same as situation, lost the job during the ECQ. Now this person only has, well, will have waited only for the last pay. So it's like a month savings. Diba? Mura na siya month savings. So that
mhm.
is just halfway through the month, the person is already
Very
feeling
worried.
stressed, just when it started.
Panic. Mhm.
Well, they have not found it yet because most probably they have tried to look for a job, probably, or they have already
Yeah,
currently they have shifted. Because one of the things that Filipinos are known for is to be resilient. If they lose jobs, they try to assist them to look for another one. So that's one of the things that we consider. So the stress point, imagine, no, and then of course we cannot delay eating, all right? Because
I will
sure we still continue to eat. It's not like when we lost our jobs,
stop
we would
eating.
stop eating. Di mo na mahitabo. Now the third person that I'm describing, and one of the people that you might encounter in their situation is um, at the onset. Well, to describe this person just before pandemic came, has a lot of bad debts. Always traveling, loans everywhere, credit cards. I'm not saying these things are bad, but if you're using your credit cards for the wrong reasons and loaning money for the wrong reasons, then that's where things get worse. Now,
Yeah,
when EQ was implemented and then she lost her job, uh, the sad part is when she received where she or he received the money, his or her last pay. What happened is she has to pay off. She still have to pay for her loans and her credit cards. Well, the government actually is very supportive of the situation in the Philippines, where they have encouraged the banks, and the loans, but of course, to what certain point, no, the
yeah.
threshold.
Like up to what point?
Oh,
I heard that there are like surcharges for
mm-hmm.
extension.
So that's one of the things that it would be okay if they use the credit cards for the right reasons. But most people nowadays, it's like they would want to get the credit card because they think that they can trust themselves with it. But it is a
Oh, it's
powerful
so hard.
tool. It could also hurt us both, when you use these, loans and credit cards. Now, the fourth person that I'm about to describe this is the same with the third person. However, the saddest part is this person happened to have already the virus. So she has already bad debts, loans on her plate. What was added is the medical expense. So when we lose jobs, when we no longer work with a company, with a with a company, automatically our what's this benefits, employee benefits would also be cut off. What would remain is the PhilHealth, but it's our duty to actually continue paying for it to make sure that we're still covered. But this person happened to have the COVID, so that's the sad part. Now, that's the sad part. And then
Really sad. And it's happening. Like rich or
oh,
poor are getting COVID.
there
They're
are
like
more
that
people
in
that
the
get
country right now.
mhm. So that's one of the things that they have not actually prepared for, and then nobody have actually prepared for it. Now, So we have already discussed four types of people during this ECQ, right? Now the fifth one is, this is the ideal person that we would want to be. So
Okay.
remember, I told you guys a while ago, we have to make sure that we have 6 months that that 6 times, rather 6 times our expenses, monthly expenses. So this fifth person actually has that. So uh, and then it's basically it's few people who are like these. They have saved up for the rainy season or the rainy days. So I'd like to ask all of our viewers who are basically watching us right now. Um, are you actually that person who has the money right now? I mean, I don't want to downplay what's happening to your life, but that's one thing that we need to really have. We should have prepared for. You know? And
Yes.
mhm. and then no, that's one of the things that let's try to assess ourselves. Who among the five people that I have actually described a while ago that fits to your current situation? So everyone, let's do a financial health check. So do you have like your income less expenses? Is it the net positive, just like the fifth person? No, income less expenses, break even, or income less expenses, then negative but with little savings. And the most uh, sad part is it income less expenses negative and then no savings at all. So let that sink in. Which one are you currently in? So I'm not scaring you guys. It's not that I'm not scaring. I don't actually like the one to scare, but of course I will have to bring people to the reality, and at a certain point that people would realize, because not unless somebody would tell us, we wouldn't realize, right? There's a point in life where you've been continuing doing things, and then you kind of deny that there's really a need for you to change, but it is when other people would tell you, hey, you need to do something about it. Have you done that, right? I mean, I've did that before. Huh?
I personally was in denial the first like couple of weeks of
Mhm.
COVID. Although I actually talked to all of my employees and told them like, oh my gosh, you have to brace for impact. We don't know how it's gonna affect us because um we have like international operations and we don't know what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And you can't really force people, you can't really force clients to like stick with the service if let's say there's a crisis, right? But
Mhm.
at first I was like, oh my gosh, and I really thought, oh, okay, we're just gonna go back in April or May, like worst case scenario May.
Right. And now
Already July.
we, we still don't even know what would be our uh, status for tomorrow until the person would be announcing it tonight. So that's something that everybody is actually anticipating. What would be the status of Cebu? Because we have been highlighted all over. Um, it's like um, the
It's
representation of
like
the
we're
entire.
the Wuhan of the Philippines.
Right, we are representing the Philippines. I don't like that kind of idea. If we would be representing probably the Philippines, it should be in a good, for something good. but it's
Like Sinulog, not COVID.
but of course, I'm still praying for a better outcome of everything. But up until that, everybody would actually take this health crisis seriously, then we wouldn't be able still to. If they won't be taking it seriously, we still wouldn't be expecting better outcome up until everybody realizes that. Now, let's proceed. Now, so the main topic, everyone, is basically how to manage yourself during this crisis. Now, just before I actually go into that now, uh, let me inform you. Ideally, in a normal situation, you distribute your income in this manner. 50% of your income goes to your needs. 20% goes to your wants. 20%, the other 20%, that goes to your savings or investments. While your 10%, there are some people who are who likes to give back to the community and then also donate. So that's 10%. So that's how
Charlene,
I'll
can you use that down and like flash it on the screen maybe? What was that again, Rachie?
all right. I'll actually share it later on, probably, and for you to post like so. This is how in the
But it
normal
would be
situation.
nice to also be here on the screen, so I'm asking Charlene to post it if she can.
All right, I'll just repeat it one more time. In a
Yeah.
deal situation, this is how everyone should actually distribute the income. You
Mm-hmm.
know, set aside the income. Fifty
Okay.
percent of the income should go to your needs.
Okay.
All right. Second, 20% goes to your wants.
Okay.
All right. The other 20%, make sure you put it the savings or your part of your investments.
Okay.
Right. And then the 10% goes to your donations and your tithes. So the 10%.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a normal situation.
Normal.
Crisis is yeah, that's in a normal situation. We're not still talking about what happened or in the current situation.
Normal. Okay.
Okay,
It's
how to
not the new
prepare.
normal.
Right. We're still preparing for a crisis. That kind of kana akong gisulti. All right.
Yeah.
Now, just before we go to the current one, this is very important, no? We have to distinguish between needs and wants. All right. So, this is one of the realization. Let's do a case point. Now, the best example, most probably, I got this from a colleague in Film Life, boss Eric Nickdow. He shared this in one of his talks. His case point is all about toothpastes. All right, now, toothpaste. Now, there are four variants that I'm about to share it to you. Colgate, just the plain one, it costs around 50 pesos. Now, there's another variant of Colgate, Fresh Confidence with cooling effect. That's 59 pesos.
Oh, I
Now,
didn't know that.
all right, the third one, the Colgate Total with charcoal deep clean action, whatever it is, it's 75 pesos. And there are
Oh,
people actually who would like to purchase, we have this Dentist Night Natural, and for 160 grams, that is actually 300.
so
Now,
that's
from
still
that,
Colgate or that's another brand?
that's another brand. That's
Okay.
another brand. So there are four different types of toothpaste. Now, the what's the main use of toothpaste? It's basically just to clean to clean our teeth,
In your
right?
teeth. Yeah.
Alright. But marketing is just a marketing strategy, putting other things inside the toothpaste.
Yeah.
So
Even like the container.
when well, if you want to still actually purchase those things, but you just have to make sure that you're still on budget. So from the examples that among the toothpaste that I actually have told you guys, or I mean I shared, no, which one, if you really want to be within your budget, which one do you think we should choose? It should be the lesser one, right? Because
Yeah.
it still
It
does
still does the job.
yes, the job of cleaning your teeth.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things we also failed to realize. Um, you know, choosing which one and then making sure we're still on track with our budget. So that's just one thing. So that's one. Oh, there are a lot of things that you can think of, guys. But as much as possible, if you are made to choose something, just make sure that you are on track with your budget. No, you won't go beyond it. So, but you have to make sure also that it does the job. So you wouldn't have to,
Yes.
even if
Maybe
nothing's
some people here are just saying, I won't buy toothpaste anymore. I'll just use salt.
if they're okay with it, why not?
Why not?
No?
That's true.
We
Maybe
will
they want
actually
the organic route.
we will actually discuss that later on
Okay.
the discussion on the now normal. Now,
Okay.
so going back, guys,
Mhm.
that's just a case one. Okay, going back, no, for other people who just tuned in. So I shared that ideally in a normal situation, you distribute your income in this manner: 50% to your needs, 20% to your wants, 20% for the savings and investment, and 10% for your giving and donation. Now, this is where the most interesting part. Now we have experienced a global health crisis that impacted our economy and even ourselves. No, how do we really still be able to keep track on our budgets? Well, the more that we can actually take control of our budget now, because we are no longer
We're
going
not
out.
going out. I can attest to that because I spend so much on unnecessary stuff, and I can really say that not being able to go out is able to really help me like curb my budget.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, you know what, Judy, I I'm not saying that I don't have some um, guilty pleasures. Everybody has that. It actually, if every time that I have my own guilty pleasures, if I give into my guilty pleasures, it actually motivates me to do more. So that's another thing.
true. Mhm.
But if we are actually living day by day, paycheck to paycheck, we have to make sure that we really have to tighten our belts as
That's
much as
true.
possible. Now, in a crisis situation, especially what we have experienced right now. So we need to make sure we have to adjust our budgeting. 50% uh, still goes to your needs. Now your wants, decrease it. Please decrease it. Probably just to keep your mental health, retain 5% and beef up your savings and investment by 35%. Then 10%, of course, guys, I encourage everyone to help those who are in need. So this is the time also you still be able to help other people. Use that 10% that you have. If you're still fortunate enough to have job right now, use that 10% to help. May not be your neighbor, but for sure you have some family members who needs help, then it's a time that you can do so. So again, now that we are in this global health crisis that turned to an economic crisis, 50% goes to your needs. Charlene, right? It was Charlene, right?
Yeah, Charlene or Uralyn,
Uh,
kindly list it down. Yeah.
all right. Oh, so that is actually what you flashed is for the normal, ideal
Old
normal.
normal.
We are in the now normal. All right,
Okay.
the now normal. 50% to your needs is the first one.
Okay.
Second, all right, the second is 5% is for your wants. Beefing up your investments by 35%. So previously, di ba, nakabutan lang to, it's only 20. So increase of
Yeah.
50%. That's 35. Right? And then 10% goes to giving and helping other people. Now, why am I telling you this? This is the most practical way to deal what we have currently have. There would be a lot of ideas out there, but for our viewers right now, for something for easy for you to digest, that is our uh, advice to everyone who's currently watching right now. But of course, if you'll be transitioning, that everything will be okay, then go back to the one that I actually cited a while ago. Are you guys learning so far?
Yes, I'm super duper learning because it's been quite a journey,
Hmm.
both positive and negative. But I am
Hmm.
really like determined to make it as positive as possible, especially that I'm one of those people who are providing jobs right now during this pandemic. Super
I know.
important because we're
I'm so
trying to.
happy that you're doing that because there are a lot of people needing, jobs, and then of course you are one of those people that we need right now, Judy, and we're thankful also for having you doing that. No, so I guess no, the whole point right now is it's just like when it rains. You wouldn't really say that the rain would not stop, right? At a certain point, the rain would stop.
We'll stop
So, but now
eventually.
it's still raining. But we wouldn't know yet. We can still be in control of the situation. Hmm? How to do that? Well, that's one thing that guys, I have already informed you. That's one tip. So managing your money in that way, very practical. So it's basically just adjusting your expenses, all right? So and then of course you decrease and give up wants temporarily. No, you're just delaying your wants, setting it aside. But you're still leaving. I'm not saying just. I'm not saying that you wouldn't anymore have little wants. 5%, just 5% to keep yourself sane.
And you know what, Gracie? To be truly honest, I have also realized that there are so many things that are, my actual wants that are not even expensive.
Right.
Like, for example, tending to plants. That's why people are like crazy about plants right now because it's relatively cheap compared to like shopping for designer goods or traveling.
Mm-hmm. You know, uh, Judy, like I said, I don't want to downplay people also always um, wanting expensive stuff because I also have some expensive stuff. But of course things have to be uh, delayed. No? We have to adapt to we're in the situation that we are facing. So it's not about now that um, there's crisis and this is the time that I will be buying bags. No, no. I wouldn't be able to. What's this? I wouldn't be able to display Gucci outside because I'm just staying at home.
Exactly.
No, it's basically just.
Or just bring your Gucci from your toilet to your bedroom and then to your kitchen.
But you also have to look good still, even though that you're at home. So just
It's
again,
for
guys.
mental health.
Mm-hmm. And but guys, like I said, just few more months of sacrifice of delaying your wants. But of course, if you still want, just 5% of your income. Okay? And then, of course, identify not all types of needs actually also that we need to buy. No? There are some needs that we can actually also delay, right? Because we're just staying at home. Mhm. So that one example is, uh, of course, there are times before I drive a lot with in the industry that where I am right now. I usually go out, I meet with my clients. So now that my car is just here, uh, well, when you go out, my need would most likely be gas, right? So
Mhm.
I have to pay for that. It's not luxury for me because it actually helps me augment my income. So
That's
I
true.
cannot go places without my car. No, it wouldn't be convenient for me. So but now I'm not going out much. So I'm delaying the gas. I'm gassing up my
Trend.
car. Um,
It's true.
I'm doing that for now. So there are a lot of things that we're still delaying. No, um, probably to some people, eating at the restaurants actually is a need because they don't want to cook. So you can delay that. You can delay that, right? But I know that
I've
you're
been
starting.
trying. I've been trying, Racy, because I did an audit. Like even before this pandemic, I did an audit because I live alone,
Mhm.
and I find that it's so hard to cook by yourself because there's so much leftovers, and I have to keep like, for example, if I cook humba right now, I will eat humba for the rest of the week. so
Well, can
so
actually it's
but
good
then
for.
I've been trying to find ways to like really improve because I've seen that the expenses for Grab food is tremendously like
Right.
embarrassing.
Well, Grab food right now is considered as a need, but there are times that we can delay it, right? Because
Yes,
you can still buy food elsewhere and prepare for it.
yes.
So
Or
that's
just
one of
really
the
like prepare your own food if possible. I'm trying my best, God knows. I'm trying to eat fruits.
so basically that's one of the things that how to prepare ourselves on to the now normal. Now
Okay.
there are other actually uh, advice that I would want everyone uh, to know. No, um, it's what we call repurposement option. So when we say asset repurposement, this is for people who has idle assets. Let's say if you have if you have a property that you're not using, it's idle, really idle, you can sell it, no, or you can use it as a collateral. Now, wouldn't it that be oh my god, my dog is here, so Banchi is saying hi.
Hi.
Go there.
What's
Dito
the
sa
name of
Banchi.
your dog?
Oh sorry guys, he's here beside me. uh, oh god, like no, he's very clingy. But anyway, going back, it's asset repurposement. When we say asset repurposement, whatever assets that you have that you can actually give up, because we wouldn't really know what lies ahead, and we have to make sure that we have enough. We're liquid, no, yeah, with our expenses. So that's one of the things you can also do. And then, of course, the most important, I think you've noticed that there are a lot of people who are selling, right? Can you give me like 15 seconds, guys? I'm really sorry. I just have to
That's
bring
okay.
my
I have a cat too, and he's crazy.
hi, Bachi.
Hi, Matring, Matring.
Sorry.
Hi to my friend Judee.
Uh, si Banchila na. It's so good. I'm sorry, guys, about that. That's a
That's
blooper.
okay. That's so understandable. It happens to me all the time with my cat. That's why whenever I'm on live stream, I lock him like in my bedroom.
Actually, he it was with my mom in our bedroom. I sleep with my mom. But anyway, I don't know why he got out. But anyway, let's continue. So now I have also discussed the how to set your budgets, but now let's try to be what we can actually beef up with our money. So as much as possible, we have to really have really to be liquid right now. So first is asset repurposement. You have some things that you can uh, give up and then you know use that soon. I'm praying that something would happen to you, but at least you are liquid. That's the whole point. And then of course, if you, for people who doesn't have those, increase your income stream. Sell, it doesn't actually make you less of a person if you're selling things. I'm a passionate baker. And then what I'm doing right now, I'm
Yes,
also
I'm seeing your
right.
baked goods. I'm like so tempted to order. And I've been telling myself, oh my gosh, I'm so fast.
And what I was doing in the past days, guys, is I have organized a. This is just a little segue, okay? I actually organized bake for a cake for a cause. So the proceeds of that actually was purchased vitamins for the COVID victims. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
not,
so nice.
guys, I'm not rich, but of course I can't just turn blind eye for the people who are victims already. So that's one way also to really inform them that a person like me, their neighbor is also thinking about them. So just a little segue,
That's
guys.
really something that I admire about you, Rachie, because remember that I met you on a fundraiser, right? A
Right, it was
fundraiser
fundraising.
charity event with Tia Worksbach, and like all these other celebrities, and then you're with Love Yourself, right?
Right, right.
Yes.
So that was just a little segue, guys. So, you know, that alone, no, if I wouldn't be doing it for charity, I can actually increase my income stream. But my main job right now is to really get people to get protection. So those one of the things. So as with that, I'm motivated to do more. To reach out to more people. Because even though that we would want to be liquid, but there are times that our money wouldn't be enough. So should be basically transferring the risk to somebody else, just in case something happens to us. So, which would bring us to another idea of. So let's go back to a point of realization again. It's more about realization. So first, no, I was letting you guys realize which one are you from the five types of people, persons of five types of people during the pandemic. Now, this is another idea, but would relate still. But this idea would be for long term.
Okay.
Now, everyone knows that, or most household only have one bucket for all needs. So what are these needs? Education, recreation, day-to-day expenses, medical, retirement, etc. So under one bucket, right? So that's one thing. Currently, right now, even in my, currently people are doing that. One bucket for everything. However, with our one bucket, the global health crisis, this is like we're in a war wherein our
And
enemy, our enemy happen. We can't see our enemy. That's the sad part.
it is invisible.
It's invisible. Now, sadly, there are some people who actually got the virus. It's either they die or they live, right? But what's common to them is their medical expenses. What happened is their bucket, right? Bucket of expense, when there what's this bucket for all needs nila
Mm-hmm.
slowly been depleted
That's
because you
true.
have to, of course, pay the hospital who somehow, doing their best, And of course, if the hospitals are doing it for charity, they would actually be having hard time, helping more people. So that's one thing, no? So when medical expenses comes in, we're slowly draining what's in the bucket. And then there are times that no there are times that all of our money in our own buckets would be depleted.
Yeah.
Sadly, uh, that's one of the things that people have not actually prepared for. You can have all the money you have, even if you've already saved for good for 5 years.
Mm,
But once medical expenses would come in, there's a possibility everything get wiped out.
that's true.
That's the reality, guys. I'm not scaring you guys, but since we're talking about how to manage our expenses correctly, the first part was okay. The first part is really ideal, know how to go about it. But we would never know if we would get the virus. And then though insurance is not, or getting protection, guys, is not about, it's not actually the medicine, the answer to COVID, but somehow it would help you get treatment. So even though that you are currently situated with this kind of situation, is it still wise to get yourself protected? The more that you guys should get
Mm.
one. Why? Because we wouldn't know if we would be struck with the virus because we can't
The
see it.
chances are even higher right now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You know what? I really hate it because I have an echo. Um, the chances are higher right now that you will get sick.
Sorry, that part I got cut off, probably with my signal. Anyway, yeah, it's true. The chances are really high. But then again, there are a lot of people right now, even though that they have current protection provided by their company, but with the cost of treatment of COVID is quite high. Some people, if you've heard that people are actually spending around 1 million already. Even our HMOs, most HMOs would only cover what? Given by most
100,
100,000.
100K.
Is it enough? Or if you have PhilHealth, yes, PhilHealth has increased the amount of coverage for COVID, but is it still enough?
It's not.
So you can still, guys, you can still prepare. That's one the most important preparation that you are currently in this kind of situation. So you cannot delay it anymore. I'm not selling you. I'm selling something to you. I'm selling you an idea that it's not too late. You can still.
Honestly, Rachie, what I did was because I was starting to get really worried about like what happened to Wuhan. And so I remember like in around like late January, we
Mm-hmm.
were starting to like during Tanulog time, people were like talking about the patient zero in the Philippines or like patient number one in Cebu, right? Like there was this
That's
Chinese Chinese woman with a child. They're looking for this kid. I got so paranoid that I started to like, oh my gosh, I have to like. So that's the reason why when like before ECQ, I personally, I'm just sharing this to like the viewers right now. I added around like 3 million to my insurance policy, and to make sure that I'm covered with critical illness. Oh my
mhm.
gosh, I am not the paragon of health. I'm overweight, and recently I had somebody take my blood pressure and was so shocked, like it was so high. And that's like such a really scary risk factor. So apart from that, like I'm trying to exercise right now, but whatever, if for example, if it would happen, would I want to be that person who I don't know, dies just at home because they don't have money, right? Yeah.
Well, that would actually be depend. It would depend from person to person. With
Yes. But
what you
I was
did
just really
before.
sharing, like I guess in my end,
Same with
what I did.
uh same with me actually. When there's already a scare, I know that it can possibly blow out of proportion, and then it did. as um, how it was actually shared to us na it's just gonna it will actually just claim like at around 1% of the total people who got the virus. But even though it's 1%, that's still a number,
That's
and we
still
don't have that number. So of course, there are things that we can do. We can take control of every crisis. That's the whole point in this talk, everyone. We can take control. Even though, think of yourself that you are a pilot. You are the one who is actually flying the the aircraft, and then you would be reaching soon your destination. And it's a matter of really preparing for things. So that's the whole point of this conversation. But we could not also what was mostly been uh, shared to us probably by your friends or some of your friends viewers, no, um, really have to save up things like that. So we're you know it was already a lost opportunity for us to save. But is it still wise to save during the pandemic? The more we can still do it. And then if you have to assess yourself, the amount of money that you will be able to save would be enough just in case, God forbid, something happens to you. Would it uh, would it answer to your medical expenses? I guess not. So what you guys should be doing, as a personal advice, even take it out from your head that I'm a financial advisor, but consider it like a friend, a friend actually um, gave you an advice. uh, you should make sure that you transfer the risk of uh, being burdened with medical expenses to somebody else by just paying a fraction of the cost of how much coverage that you would want to get. So that's the wisest thing that we can possibly do during this kind of pandemic. Huh? That would be the best investment that you can have. There's a lot of
I
people are
really I really agree, Rachie. It's not, you know what? I invited you here not because, like, for example, you're in the financial services industry, not just like, um, not like, it's not like I can, get commission, for example, for like out of this. But for me, in my end, it's such an under like discussed topic in our.
people wouldn't want to talk about it.
They don't want
I
to
have
talk about it because talking about money, like we have these really old, outdated beliefs that talking about money is rude. Talking about money is like condescending, or like, you know, um, people are not like, if you're not necessarily rich, you shouldn't like really like he less if you have an investment. But they don't understand that it's actually the poor who needs it more,
mm-mm,
because the
totally
rich,
agree.
if they have money, even if they like stack it up in their cabinet, at the end of the day, they will have something to give to like to to their children, because they have so many assets.
I
So
think
for
you
me,
would also, Mhm.
mhm,
I think you would also believe, when I would tell you that we are also victim of circumstance, because um, fi- um, you know, the financial literacy has not actually been introduced at school.
that's true.
We are learning it from for professionals, or when we started working. Somehow somebody has shared that idea to us, but it was never introduced in our school. If you guys would vote for me as president, I'll bring that to. I don't want to, like I said, I want to politicize it, but that's one of the things was heard us before, in preparing for rainy days, is that yes, hilas, they would call it hilas paminaon. Aside from that, um, people are very superstitious, and if you would be talking about it, we would say, are you there are some times that I get a comment from someone. Are you trying to say that something would happen to me next week? Uh, third eye, Rachie, that you can, or can you predict that something would happen to me? That's the reason why you're talking about this now. Well,
Yeah,
no,
it's like you're the
I,
angel of death.
so, but of course it's a possibility. No one has been recorded yet, or I haven't met a person who have outlived more than 150 years. That's a reality. But as to when our time would come, uh, we wouldn't know. But what we do know that the only thing permanent is change. And when you say change, you're healthy now, you might not be healthy soon. That is a change. So that's the whole point. Huh?
We have a
So
question here.
it is.
You know what, guys? I'm so sorry. It's so weird that I have like an echo. I don't understand even. We have a question here. Can you read it, Richie? What is it?
Okay. Oh, sorry, my Facebook, my rather my what's this messenger. We have a question. Which should be paid first? Personal debt due to bills, or would you enough money to pay for, when you don't have enough money to pay for both? Uh, well, that's a very tricky question. Well, currently right now, um, companies has actually given an ample time for you to amortize your payments. So if your credit card or loan most probably, or the company that you got the loan from has that uh, option, then you can actually pay somehow what the minimum that they are requiring, just to make sure that you won't incur any interest. You can still make payments, but you can ask if they have an option for you to amortize further, no? To
Yeah,
stretch
it's like a
your payment.
payment extension or an arrangement.
Yeah, most probably they have done that because there are some credit card companies, banks right now, and also cooperatives has done that for humanitarian reasons.
Yeah.
So,
Some
but
even
then again,
have provided like debt forgiveness option.
but also one answer that I can provide for this question is if you wouldn't be able to sacrifice your current needs, then you can still pay your debts, to pay off also your other bills. If it wouldn't actually, okay, guys, I'd like to repeat that if it will not actually uh, affect uh, your budget, no, you still have enough and you still have a job, then continue. Act as if nothing happens. I mean, not really nothing happens, but act as if um, COVID didn't happen, that you're not affected.
Any
Another,
other questions here? Ah, we have another question. Can you see it? Okay, there.
okay, was that okay pa ba ituloy po yung insurance kung wala pang income na pumapasok? Now, depending on the insurance policy you have, other companies actually have given an extension also. Just like when you have your payments for credit cards, they have extended the premium collection. So the extension, there is a company that I know gave 90 days in total, 60 days. So, but then again, I would say if insurance would actually protect your income soon, no, potentially soon, not now, but it would be wise for you to continue. So there are options that you can do. You can take out. No, this is just my take on it on a personal note. If it's too burden and if it will already affect my current how to live by for the expenses in the next few days or what we have right now is, I would say, uh, probably um, hold off a portion of my insurance, probably downgrade just to make sure if I have big coverage, I would request for a lower coverage for me to still make the able payments.
That's
So
true.
it
Because
really depends because there are some people who pay their insurances on a yearly basis, quarterly, monthly. But if it's going to be monthly, as long as it will not affect that you can still eat, no, that's one of the things we have to make sure that we're nourished. Then we you can talk with your financial advisor on how to have yourself have yourself downgrade perhaps. So not give up, you not give up your insurance. If there's a way for it to bring down the cost of the insurance, then go to that option. So another question.
yeah, we have another question.
Sun Life po yung insurance ko, quarterly payment, kaso wala po kaming budget. Pwede po ba kaya ipa-hold muna, then ituloy lang pag may income na? I could not speak in behalf of the company being stated. You can ask options coming from the operations department. They would be happy also to help out their clients in this time of crisis. There are as options. It's really hard to answer this kind of question. It's very specific, Judee, because
But
I'm
however, for example, in film,
well, kasi
how
film
is
lang.
it?
If I were to choose, just like I said, no, my best option is to decrease the current coverage that I have
Mm,
and make sure I still have a coverage, just enough for me if something happens to me. But as much as possible, these are the things that I wouldn't be giving up. There are things
that's
that I
true.
can't give up. That's the most important thing, your wants. Because insurance could actually, if all else will fail, insurance will be the only one that we can depend on. And if there's the possibility that, or if you are left with an option to sacrifice insurance over wants, then you would be in a bad shape. So if you can uh, uh, move around your expenses, like I said, there are parts of your needs that you can delay, and then of course temporarily as well delay your wants. So as long as you can still afford your insurance, then you can do so. You can definitely go back. What's the name? Ate Gail, right? Ate Gail, you can go back to your financial advisor. You can ask what are the options that is given by Sun Life for their clients. Because to me, um, personally, I wouldn't want you, okay, I wouldn't want you to give up on your insurance because it's very important. Because like I said, when all else fail, insurance is the best hope for our family. If you can ask for, like I said, um, ask options. And the second thing that you can do is give up temporarily your wants to accommodate your insurance. That's the safest answer that I can provide and the most practical one.
All right.
Question?
Okay.
Wow, I like this kind of questions because I get challenged, but of course I have to be in the safe side because even though I'm in the financial services, the what's this it differs from company to company. So
That's true.
one company has this kind of consideration because of this COVID, no, and our company has a different one. So it would be best. Basically, it's for the best interest of all insurance policy holders. Mhm.
No matter what, don't ignore. In fact, it's better. Like, oh my God, my feedback is
Oh my God. So, is there anything else that you would like to share, Rachel? I'm so sorry about this.
Well, you know what? I'd like to summarize what we have actually. I can still accommodate questions. Oh, there.
Here,
Just already. VAMC. How much po kaya usually yung ideal amount para emergency fund? Also, is it okay po ba depending muna sa PhilHealth and wag muna kumuha ng health insurance if limited ang budget? Well, you know what? On a personal note, I wouldn't want to depend on PhilHealth alone because the case rates being put out if something happens to us is actually really low. We are not also denying the fact that we cannot only get COVID at this point. We can also get sick with other illnesses. No? But since you asked that, the emergency fund would depending on, like I said, we go back for the emergency fund. The safest is establish at least 6 times of your monthly expenses. Then, since you have right now, since we are already in right now, even since we are not, there's nothing wrong with us. We don't have any. I believe no, your situation is we are still working. So if you're still working, you still have income. Make sure you go back to what I have informed you. Um, Beef up on your savings instead take out from you want beef up in your savings, by the way, doesn't have to that you're putting into like a life insurance or putting it in the bank, but as long as you are liquid, you have that. If something happens to you, you can take out from your pocket that kind of emergency fund, so you can have that at least the 35% from your current income. But if you're to ask me, if there's no wrong, or if there's no issue, or if you still have if you still have your you're still working, then you can have that option to beef up because we didn't really know. And um, well, yeah, you then I wouldn't really discourage you not to get any life insurance. But if, like I said again, if it will affect already your uh, daily expenses, uh, you can depend temporarily with PhilHealth. But if ever you have already figured out how to, or you're going to figure out um, your how you can live by with restructuring your finances after you have established that, then you can consider of purchasing a life insurance or a health insurance.
that's so helpful, Rachel. Okay, all right.
So we have another question.
Mhm. Okay, no more questions for now.
Yeah, just before probably they're still formulating their questions. So if you would want to know more about, I do consultations. You don't have to worry.
Well,
You will
people
not.
reach out to Rachel. We have your Facebook here.
Yes, my Facebook page. Just look for Rachie Mr. Plan B. So the Plan B doesn't have to be. You don't pay for it. It's you can consider me as your friend that you're asking advice from, financial advice from. We can I can definitely give you guys a call over Zoom or whatnot, just like this. No, um, we can talk. Anything under the sun. All right. Now, just before I would accommodate more questions, so let me just summarize this. No, of course, everyone I'd like to share this. So prepare, right? So this is the most important thing right now. We should prepare. My summary is prepare. P. Let's start with letter P. Put your biggest investment investment in what matters most. And nowadays, what matters most is you, right? It's you who matters most. Because if people are depending on your income, you matter most, not just for yourself, but everyone is depending on you. R, redefine your goals. If you have goals that you would want to do, redefine your goals. E, establish an emergency fund equals to 6 times your monthly expenses and then erase bad debt. So when we talk about erasing bad debt, you're paying, aside from you're paying it off, you don't get involved for bad debts. This is not a perfect time for you to purchase things, even pay for a travel, because it's very tempting, right? A lot of seat sale and then
Yeah,
staycation. Then
there's
you
selling a
people
lot of stuff right now.
hold it off for now, please.
True.
That's advice. Hold it off. Erase bad debt. So P, another P, protect your main asset, and which is yourself. That's the most important. And then uh, uh, that's P, right? Then
Mhm.
another R.
A,
Uh, sorry,
prepare.
sorry. A. That's allocate or earmark your money. All right, allocate. And then, of course, another R, refer to a financial advisor and reduce your risk. So you can to someone like, it doesn't have to be me, but if you want me to walk you through it, just add me in Facebook. Either you want to look up my name, Narichi Namongo, or you can go to my Facebook page, Rachie Mr. Plan B. We can talk. So, because people like me
He's
right now,
very nice, guys. So just reach out to him.
we can give the right advice. We tailor fit things. I'm also a type of person that thinks about the best interest of the people who actually would approach me and talk things like this, because I don't want you guys to be burdened on things. And then, of course, um, every day is filled with God's blessing and echo God's blessing. So you can be a blessing. Every day, like I said, is this refer? You know what? Every day is filled with God's grace. So ask. No, it's also a time for us to really pray,
And
and
also
then
be grateful.
ask for guidance.
Mhm.
No, all right.
All right.
So now, guys, after having all said that, huh, how can you be normal when times are not normal? You already know the answer.
Thank you
When
so
you
much
actually
for that,
un-
Ricky.
when we have been talking about this,
Thank you so much for that. That was actually so enlightening. I personally have been trying to research about it because, but then this is so enlightening. I'm not kidding. I even like took down notes.
oh yeah, I've noticed. Thank you very much, Judee, for inviting me for your show, and I have watched the other guy the restaurateur.
Mhm.
What he did is actually somehow would fit to what we have discussed this evening. To those who have to your viewers who was able to watch that. I'm also thankful for the opportunity for me to impart what I have actually learned from years of experience as being a financial advisor. Now, whatever I have discussed here is one of the ideas that you can learn from. There are other ideas you can do so, but always what is common to what we have been discussing is very specific. Protecting the most important asset will always be yourself. How how it could be done? There are a lot of ways to do it, but the most important is it's all about us or you. All right. I am still open for questions. Okay, you know what? In my background right now, it's raining, and then I have umbrella here.
Wow, I'm so
You know, it's literally insurance is like that. Um, I thought that it wouldn't be raining, but since it rained, so at least I have umbrella.
really Mr. Plan B because you're so prepared.
So yes, we have to make sure we are prepared. So same analogy, guys. Just before when the rain comes, you don't want to get wet. You protect yourself. You bring along with you a protection, and that is just the same thing, right? Not pa yung very big
You know
umbrella.
what? I would like to encourage everybody, if you still have more questions, don't be shy. Reach out to Rachie. He is very knowledgeable about this. And he can also, he's also very friendly. And as you can see, he can teach you very well.
Yeah, because what, guys? I love relating to people, talking about these things. It's the only way for me to give back to how Philm Life or the financial service is being really good to me. What I have learned from years of experience is actually a gift from God through them. I don't want to sound really like very evangelistic here, but I really truly believe in that. Through where the company that I represent, which is Film Life, I'm very grateful for them. The things that I have learned through the years, and now it is very relevant. And I hope that you would also get consider of you know in having yourself. It's basically paying for yourself. It's
That's
not. Don't think about insurance as a expense, because like I said earlier, insurance actually is the only tool that replaces your income if something happens to you.
that's so true.
If you'll no longer be able to work because of God forbid, nanuktok yun, no? God forbid that you faced an untimely death, um, to continue your legacy and then to continue the income that um, the family actually is depending on you. Um, I guess it is but rightful for you to really invest in yourself. There are ways that you can do so, and what I am introducing to you is very practical advice. Talk to someone that you would be comfortable in talking about these things, and devise a plan with that person. And I hope that if that would be me, we can talk about anything. All right.
All
So
right.
I anything that you'd like to ask from me, Judee?
You know what? All I can really say is I'm very thankful that you're here. I personally, I'm so enlightened. I'm actually going to go back to my drawing board and start planning out stuff. And I'm sure that everybody here is as grateful as well. Thank you so much, Rachel. And so, uh, guys, just reach out to Richie, okay?
Right. Oh,
So,
I want Judee can because I have some people who actually messaged me in
yeah,
Facebook and they want to have a shout out. So
go, go,
shout
go.
out Pet Malu family, Ramil Montialto, Alice Seniza, Miss Arlette Baratas, Nigel Abarquez, no, and also to my sister, Shara Lomongo Montuerto, Ayeza Lomongo Macasaro, Cabana rather, then of course my mom, Jessica Lomongo, and also to my other colleagues in Film Life, Mommy Grace Rehis, my manager, also everyone else in the Rehis unit and Cebu Direct, all the entire Film Life family. Thank you for being there with me, no, with this journey. Because without them, I wouldn't be able to organize this kind of, you know, organize all of what I'm about to talk about, no, for this evening, for this interview.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for everybody during that, like in that
And
shout out.
thanks, Judee, for this opportunity. I really like it. The fact that from all of the people that she can actually invite, it was me. So I feel very special. Thank
You're
you.
my third guest.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
All right.
uh,
So, moving forward, guys, we will be back next Wednesday. Okay, for another episode of Inspiring Wednesdays. It's another topic, by the way. It will be a surprise. We will announce it later, but just also remind you, we are actively hiring virtual assistants in my company. But of course, we only hire like trained people. So we'll have an upcoming training
mhm.
this August. So for everybody who wants to be trained, just reach out. Um, we will be including the link in the description below. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching Rallos TV, and you all have a great day. Please hit the notification bell and subscribe and like this video. All
All
right.
right. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Rachie, Mr. Plan B. And if there are some questions that you forgot to somehow after the live interview tonight, no, if you there's something that pops up into your mind that you were not able to raise, no, you can definitely shoot me a question, or you can add me. Just read my name, Rachie Lumongo. If you want to add me in Facebook, I'm okay with that. You can also follow me in what's this what other social media platform? I
Yeah.
am Instagram. That's just my first name attached triple two. That's 222 Rachie 222. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I'm privileged to share all the knowledge that I got over the years, um, and hope to still discuss. Probably there are some viewers you have, Judee, who are business people. We also not because this is in a personal note, no, individual lang siya. But
Mhm.
we can probably set another schedule for
Yeah.
talk
We
on
will
how
have another
to
talk about like
how
managing for business.
manage your business amidst this crisis. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very
All
much,
right.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.